Ladies and gentlemen, welcome tonight to another edition of NASCAR Throwback Thursday on the channel. And today we will be rewatching the 2001 Budweiser Shootout at Daytona, as requested by you guys, the fans, over the poll this week for which stream we will watch for the Throwback Thursday. Now, so far on Throwback Thursdays, we have been watching some Daytona races, but they have specifically been the Daytona 500s with the Busch Light Clash at the LA Coliseum this Sunday. I figure we're going to go back and watch an old Budweiser Shootout or Clash, I guess, in this day and age of NASCAR. And the votes between 2001, 2005, 2010, 2011, and 2012 were voted upon, and 2001 by a wide margin was the race that you guys wanted to watch. Of course, this Speed Week's pretty infamous, of course, for the Sunday edition of Race Day at Daytona, when it was a tragic scene when Dale Sr. obviously passed away. So this is the, I guess, technically second to last flag-to-flag race with Dale Earnhardt Sr. all time. Obviously, it's not a points race, but it is the first race to that weekend. Oddly enough, I don't know who wins this race. I think I have an idea of who wins because I was looking up ideas for a thumbnail earlier today, or pictures for a thumbnail that I could use, and I think I saw somebody in Victory Lane, and I was like, oh, I really hope it wasn't that year specifically. It is Google Images, so maybe, you know, somebody else actually won this race. I have a bad feeling I know who won. But before that, I had zero clue who won this race. I don't even know who is all in the field. Remember, it's the pole sitters from the year before that made up the field in the Clash at this time period in NASCAR. Actually, for a long time in NASCAR, up until really a few years ago. And they started adding playoff drivers and a bunch of other stuff. Anybody with a win, which it was just expanding the field more and more, essentially, is what it was doing. And now we get to go back. We get to rewatch it. This is a race that I really wanted on the poll this week because I was curious to see how the race at Daytona and the racing at Daytona was before the Daytona 500. I have watched that Daytona 500 before, but what I haven't watched is the dual races or the Budweiser Shootout from that Speed Weeks. And I was interested because it is the same Super Speedway package that was pretty much used in NASCAR, the Super Speedway races from about 2005 to 2006. They made some minor changes, obviously, here and there, but for the most part, it was about the same. But there's no yellow line rule at this Daytona, just like in the Daytona 500. But obviously, I didn't want to watch that Daytona 500 for obvious reasons. I know it's been requested on the channel by people in comment sections and in the chat. There's a reason why we are not watching that race, at least this year. We'll obviously see how that goes. It's a tricky subject. For demonetization reasons, I don't know if I could show it, and nor would I really want to show that moment. I don't know if I could find like an edited version where we could just skip that whole thing, because it pretty much took up the main finish of the broadcast. So it was a sad day, but this will be an exciting day. We'll watch this race and we'll see how this is going to go. So be sure to hit the like button, subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. We'll get into this. I don't know how to say this name, but the viewer, or I should say the channel name that has this race up on YouTube is Dumindu Migahawati. I probably said that extremely wrong. That was probably something I'll probably get demonetized for later for saying. Regardless of the fact, we'll get this race underway, and hopefully the volume is good for you guys.
Here is the starting lineup.
Get the starting lineup. Let me pause it for a quick second. I want to adjust the audio myself because I can barely hear it, so that means that you guys are probably barely going to be able to hear it. Hopefully this will be a little better. I want you guys to be able to hear the broadcast and me simultaneously.
Earlier this week, and Ken Schrader, the 1988 and 89 winner, pulled the pole.
It should be randomized starting order too. So you got Earnhardt and Schrader on the front row for this one.
Defending champion of the race,
Mark Martin. I believe this race is 70 laps. I don't know what the rules in state though. Steve Park, Gordon. I don't even know how many cars are in the field for this.
Years later in row 3.
Bobby Labonte, Tony Stewart.
In his first shootout appearance. Bobby Labonte, third in this race in 99.
Doesn't look like there's many cars on pit road.
John Nemechek on the Talladega pole to make his third
Nemechek and Dale Jr.
Charlotte and Michigan. He's a rookie in this race.
Texas Terry's in it. Ricky Rudd.
And Terry Labonte, the 85 winner.
Of course, most of the top stars from this
Bill Elliott, the only guy
era probably racing right now.
Shootout winner. He won the 500 a week later, as you
Technically, the first
heard.
race with Dodge back.
In this race last year. The 1998 Shootout champion Rusty Wallace and Jeff Burton making his second appearance in the pole winners race.
Mike Skinner. Skinner's gonna be one to look out for in this one.
The second round fastest qualifier to represent them in this field, and Mike Skinner in the Shootout.
Ted Musgrave in the number 90. Musgrave had a pole in 2000?
As they begin to form up behind.
He would have had to have had a pole in 2000 if he's in this race. That's interesting.
The Budweiser Shootout at Daytona live on Fox. And it's
So what was that, 18 cars? I missed it. It was 9 rows. 2, 4, 6. Oh, I was counting them, and then they went to commercial.
live at Daytona, you're watching Fox Racing, and next
That was a quick cut to
Saturday,
commercial, by the way, during the pace
300
laps.
at 12:30 Eastern, and then NASCAR happy hour, no drink and drive, 3:30 Eastern.
Alrighty, Billy Kramer, Noah Coleman, Billy Carjoy, NASCAR Cup Series 2311 Racing, Wade, The Hungry One, and others. Welcome into the stream. Cars One Boy, Patty Rumdy Creation, Start Crypto, Sandman, Jared Khalif. All thanks for tuning in this weekend. Well, this Thursday, I guess. Technically not the weekend yet. I didn't realize Ken Squire was on the Fox pre-race. 2001. Was he on the Fox pre-race every race? Was it just during Speed Weeks?
Rudd last year had one of the best, and he ended up upside down at turn 4. I want to go with Austin.
No clue Ken Squire worked
Austin
for Fox, honestly.
He's going to be really tough out here.
Probably just picked him up from CBS with Mike Joy.
Consecutive Bud Shootout start. That is a record as you get a look at Dodge and Bill Elliott. Again, the first Dodge to appear in the Budweiser Shootout ever. Let's go back upstairs. Mike Joy, Darrell Waltrip, and Larry McReynolds. Well, I think the Earnhardts are going to be tough to beat because, as in horse racing, it's an entry. If you pick Earnhardt, you're getting 2 cars, father and son. Plus a teammate. Steve Park. Larry.
Yeah, I mean, you could have won a race, maybe even won a championship the year before, and still not been in this race if you didn't qualify on the pole at all. There's like barely anybody sitting on the back straightaway. By the way, I found out that this is weird that this is in the daytime. Was it supposed to be a night race and got rained out to the next day, or? Curious.
Shootout of 2001. You are watching NASCAR on Fox. The Budweiser Shootout on Fox.
Man, they have 2 commercials during the pace laps. What are they waiting for? I will say that crowd is absolutely packed for a Bud Shootout on the front stretch. There's nobody sitting on the back straightaway for the most part. Few people here and there. Honestly, they could be spotters. I have no clue.
You're riding with Ricky Rudd. Pick to perhaps win this race. Now I had a Quinella with the Earnhardts. Daryl's got one too. Yeah, somebody named Jeff.
Not a night race till 2003. Gotcha.
Light is out.
Did not know that.
Atop the safety car. That
I was gonna say, I knew they had lights at this time. They had lights since like the late 90s. I don't like how this keeps pausing on me.
Mandatory pit stop under the green flag.
It's not my choice.
The 2 right side
And it's not OBS either. I think it's the actual,
and under caution.
the video. It's like it's a tape recording or something.
Is really high because you're coming around for your first green flag
Little staticky.
of the 2001 season. And down here, differently than any place else, it's a lot about what will happen in the inspection room over there before they put these cars on the
Just
line.
have to deal with that.
You know, the thing I see
This is the very first Fox race then.
7 sets of teammates
The very
out
first
there.
actual race on Fox that we are watching right now, or about to watch. Got 18 cars. Let me see, 2, 4, 6.
This is racing, man. We don't make this stuff up.
Yeah, 18. 18 cars. Not even half a field. Both today and at that time.
Look at that grandstand. It's packed because they know they're about to see something wild unfold.
What?
Danny Schrader leads them down. Green
Is that a Dale Jr. fan or is that Tony Erie on the flag stand? I was confused. Somebody with a Bud jacket.
coming down.
From behind it looked like it was actually Tony Erie Jr. I'm not gonna lie. 3 wide, but somebody's in no man's land right now. Who is that in the middle? Is that Bobby? Bobby Labonte? Yeah, it looks like it. Oh, it's Kenny Schrader. How many times do we see the pole sitter go straight backwards at Daytona in all these races we've watched? Most of them the Daytona 500. Who's going to lead the first lap? Oh, Steve Park taking it 3 now. Who is that? Dale Jarrett? I can't tell who it is with these terrible low definition graphics. I think Earnhardt led lap 1. It was Jarrett. Split a couple guys 3 wide a couple times.
Even through the corner, the RPMs almost never change. They may lose about 100 RPMs in the corner because they're flat on the mat all around this place. They will be for 70 laps. That's what the crew chief always asks. How much are you losing in the turns? I say, if you want to know.
Is it just one straight 70 lap race? Is there any segments? I don't know the rules. They didn't specify them in the parade laps because they took 2 commercials instead. Even in 2001, Fox was using a lot of commercials. This isn't even a points race. Earnhardt set control early, though. I just realized I don't think Sterling Marlin's in this race. He was a really good super speedway racer, too.
Those subtle moves turned out to be, they'll turn out to be very violent when they happen up in the track like that.
Somebody's on pit road already.
Second stop. Jimmy Donlevy car, number 90.
Ted Musgrave.
He's coming in and changing tires.
Musgrave already having issues.
Here's Jarrett storming back toward the front. Not much luck there. Mayfield there with Bobby Labonte.
What's up, Thomas? Thanks for tuning in.
Gerald, you said a minute ago that, hey, crew chief wanted to know something. Get in with you. Remember that one time down Talladega you told me that? And I got in.
Michael Waltrip's not in this race either, I don't think.
10 miles an hour. And that's when I knew.
That is crazy to believe that the Daytona 500 winner from 2001 isn't in the actual Bud Shootout. I mean, granted, he wasn't with DEI the year before, but still. I couldn't tell you if Michael Waltrip ever had a pole, honestly. I would imagine he had a long enough career he had to have qualified on the pole at least a couple times. Not in 2000. That's crazy. I wonder if that's the last time whoever's been in the Clash, like the Daytona 500 winner, wasn't in the Clash, was 2001. 3 wide again back there. I think Tony Stewart's in the middle now. Mark Martin to the lead. They're racing, though. I will give it. Oh, my gosh, Jeff Gordon. I was about to say they're racing really aggressively right now, and Gordon made a move. They are 3 by 3 already. I will say for 18 cars, the fact that we're only like 5 laps in, it has been entertaining 5 laps. Lack of cars in a pack, no problem. These guys are going at it. Yeah, I honestly have no clue what happens this entire race. I will be honest. This is the first Throwback Thursday stream. I have absolutely no clue what happens in this race. The whole field is like nearly 3 wide. That is insane. I have a bad feeling they're going to have the big one early. I just have that bad feeling. They're going to take out like over half the field and they're going to have like 7 cars running the last 60 laps of the race. I hope that didn't happen. This is already in the past.
The guys down here and the guys out here, they're pretty chunky. Those guys in the middle, they could let off the throttle and they can't get out of that spot. They are hung up in there and can't get out.
Folks, you got to remember, they are doing 190
Ethan, thanks for tuning in.
Closer together than you park at the shopping mall.
I don't know. I've seen some people park pretty close at the mall before. In a parking lot in general.
You're just trying to find someplace where you can move.
At least I can get out and try to walk between Mark Martin and Dale Earnhardt's car right now. There's been times at the grocery store I can't do that. Tried to get in my car, I can't even do it. I've never had to like go through the passenger seat just to get in my car before, thank goodness. Hope to God that never happens. So Musgrave fell behind early. He had to make an early stop because of a vibration. I think he's the only car that has dropped back, though. Everybody else in the lead pack. Oh my gosh. That was a Pontiac making a move on the bottom. I can tell by the car. I don't know who it was, though. It's hard to tell who the sponsors are the way the sun glare is on the cars. Unless they show like an aerial shot like this. Yeah, it was Pontiac. Bobby Labonte. There's been a lot of lead changes, though, for 6-7 laps already. Earnhardt led the first couple. Then Mark Martin led. I think Gordon might have led a lap. Bobby Labonte's going to lead this lap.
He can win this race. He gets back in the pack, he gets beat up, gets pushed around. You don't have a chance. How about Schrader? In 36, started on the pole, got kicked to the total back of the field. How did he get back to third?
Yeah, really, no kidding. Schrader went all the way to the back after starting first. Now he's back in the top 5 again.
Then you go to the back. Then you go back to the front. It's all
I mean, he was towards the front at the end of the 500 in 2001, so you'd have to imagine he's going to have a good car.
on lap number 69. Schrader.
See, even the guys that have never won a cup race in their career that are in this race, like, they could have won this race. I honestly have no clue, because it still wouldn't count towards an actual win.
They're bump crashing, baby.
So literally any one of these guys could win this race.
Try that in the turn. You don't want to be in y'all.
Or could have won this race, and I'd have zero clue.
Earnhardt Jr.
I do feel as if it was a really oddball winner, I would probably have known who would have won this.
outside and second and third in the outside lane.
Don't spoil it in the chat, but let me know in the chat how many of you guys do know who won this race. Put a yes or no.
Doesn't come as a surprise to me that they'd be back there kind of watching all this.
Don't state who actually won it. I'm just curious to know how many of you guys actually know who won this.
Those cars will continue to push up, more and more. It's all arrow. You don't get the good grip.
Like, I know 2012 was a great race, and I kind of wanted to rewatch that for that reason, but at the same time, at least that was one that I could remember from start to finish what happened. This one I have zero clue, so it keeps the element of surprise alive. Feels like I'm watching this live for the first time. I watched it for the first time, it's just not live. I mean, I was alive at this time. I was a couple years old, but I wouldn't have remembered it. I would have been way too young to remember. Gordon and Earnhardt. Dale pushing Dale. Oh my gosh, Earnhardt got loose going into one. Junior was pushing his dad a little too aggressively there. Look at the gap between them now. I think he got out of the gas when he saw him get a little squirrely into one. Gordon trying to block back and forth. Earnhardt slides right back up in front of Junior. It's weird saying Earnhardt and Earnhardt in the same sentence. There's a big side draft going into 3. Oh, Bobby, Gordon slid up. I think he was trying to side draft the 3. I have no clue exactly why he did that, though. Because there was such a big run on the bottom with everybody organized that they just blew right around him. Mayfield picking up the 24 in the middle. And Rusty might go there, too, with Mayfield. Nope, he's still on the outside. Good race, though, so far through 10 laps. I just wonder after how long are they actually going to be able to stay together, or are they going to start splitting apart?
Welcome back to Daytona, where Bobby Labonte leads the Budweiser Shootout, but only by inches and not anymore. Earnhardt Jr. is going to take over the front spot.
Junior Nation before it was legitimately Junior Nation.
You can get alongside, but buddy, it takes a whole lot of horsepower down that backstreet pass.
That's pretty strong top line to be trying to get by right there. Those guys are lined up. And
See a few no's in the chat. Some yeses. Yeah, no, I saw your comment about you watching this race pretty recently. Oh, jeez. I will tell you what, though. Dale Earnhardt, all the races we've watched with him in these Daytona 500s, he blocks a lot. And he threw a block there, too.
I'm sure he went there before the spotter even thought about saying,
I mean, I guess it worked out in 98. And every other non-Daytona 500, I guess he won. Guess he knew what he was doing.
It wouldn't surprise me if somebody was blowing out a little fluid or something, because like I said, they run these things taped up. Terry Labonte also says he's having trouble seeing. Steve?
Top 5 pretty compacted together. I'm trying to figure out where Bobby Labonte had that run from. Oh, what a crossover. Bobby just slid right up in front of Dale, and Dale just cut right back underneath him and got around him. Remember, this track is like really bumpy too, so these guys are lacking for grip. Should be an easy one-stop race, though. Probably split it in half, about 35-35. I don't think there's like any sort of mandatory like 4-tire stop or anything of that nature. I think it's just a. I don't think there's any segments either because they haven't mentioned anything about it on the broadcast yet.
It's not one of his favorite cars. As a matter of fact, it's his least favorite car. The car's got really good drag numbers, but Bobby hates the way it drives.
Worked and didn't work this year, yeah, unfortunately.
Bobby in the green car second behind Earnhardt. You see the worried look on the crew chief on the side of Kenny Schrader's car. That's because
I don't remember that Mark Martin scheme, by the way.
For NASCAR, leaking oil. Schrader will have to pit and see if they can plug that leak.
That's a tough break. Kenny Schrader, black flag for leaking oil. It can't be that bad. I mean, he's still out on the track and nobody's like wrecked or anything, so that's. He didn't pit that time either. He got black flag and he just stuck out the virtual middle finger. I will say there's not too many cars on the bottom anymore. Nobody on the bottom behind him. They're probably scared.
We started with 18 cars and now 11 of them.
Leaking oil, and they're still green, and he hasn't pit yet.
His way up and along, he is the last of that 11-car breakout and the only Dodge in the field.
It's like the top 11 are in the lead pack.
He's right where I think Bill would always be. He's watching this thing.
Mayfield going down to the bottom behind Stewart. I can't tell who that is. Oh, that's Ricky Run behind Mayfield. I mean, the only race with this actual super speedway package that was ran so far in the Cup Series before this race would have been the 2000 Winston 500, and Dale Sr. won that one. So you'd have to think that he is probably the favorite here, especially with how good of a super speedway racer he was. Zim, thanks for tuning in. RKM, thanks for tuning in. Have the Good Wrench Oreo diecast sitting on the shelf next to you. Your favorite all-time schemes. I know somebody in the comment section of the tab I posted for what race we were going to watch this weekend stated that they were excited to see that scheme. One of their favorites also.
This is a typical run for most of these guys. You just fake Jarrett, Elliott, Mark Martin. Those are guys that don't really.
There's my dad taking the lead, Junior.
And I think they're sitting there waiting for things to maybe get steam on fire.
I feel like knowing Dale Jr. just listening to his podcast and stuff, he probably wanted to beat his dad so badly if they were ever racing head-to-head at the end.
Because nobody wants to pit alone and not have a drafting car.
No, you've got to have a drafting car. And you need at least about 3 or 4 cars to be in there. And we're to lap 19, so we're in that window. So I'm sure if we look down at the pits, you'll see crew chiefs, you'll see callers, you'll see tiremen, everybody running up down. When you gonna pit? When you gonna pit?
Let's go to Earnhardt Jr.'s pit and Dick.
And Tony Gurley Sr.
Oh, what a move by Bobby.
Crew chief, is there any?
He doesn't have any help, though. I don't... Oh, it might work. I don't know. No, he doesn't have enough help. Tony going up there with his teammate.
Nobody's going to stick to it, so we just decided to go out there and do the best we can do, and whoever we can run with the best, that's the one we're going to run with. Right now, it looks like...
Wow, I'm surprised Tony didn't go up with Bobby. Oh, Dale Jr. going to make a move on his daddy.
I don't know. There's probably going to be a bunch of strategy going on here. We listened to a couple of...
Wow, I mean, they just... Him and Tony. But look at this. I mean, even Dale Jr. and Tony Stewart working together on another super speedway. Big shocker. It's unbelievable he chose to work with Tony Stewart over his own dad. Oh, jeez. How quickly Earnhardt fell back to about 4th or 5th.
He does not like to get back in traffic. I don't know if he runs the car loose. I don't know if the car's that free. I'm not sure what it is. But he doesn't like to be back in the traffic. He doesn't want to mix it up as much as he loves.
Michael Turner, thanks for tuning in.
Lead changes already. That's a new shootout record. The previous record, 8 in a year when Dale Earnhardt passed DW on the final lap. As Dale Earnhardt Jr. leads Tony Stewart as you watch the Budweiser Shootout and NASCAR.
50 to go. Junior still leading.
Today, where Dale Earnhardt Jr. leads Tony Stewart and Jeff Gordon. Earnhardt 4th and Mayfield 5th as you watch from the best seat in the house today on board the
Oh, whoa!
Budweiser airship.
Got a Budweiser blimp.
The king of beer. Budweiser, official beer of NASCAR.
A lot of drunk idiots in the grandstands probably like, that's better than the Goodyear blimp.
23. Green flag laps, Kenny Schrader. And
Coincidentally enough, they show that while Dale Jr. is leading.
Jeff Hammond?
Mike,
And it happens to be the Budweiser Shootout.
normally on a long run, cars start to pick up the push. Darrell and Larry both talked about that. Speaking with Jimmy Finnick earlier this morning.
That's an aggressive side draft by Earnhardt.
His right side tire
Oh, man.
was worn out. New downforce-
I couldn't tell who that was that ducked in line right behind him. I think it was Bobby Labonte again.
Don't be surprised if you start seeing pit stops here in the next 10 laps.
Next 10. Oh, yeah. I mean, that'd be splitting the race in half if they pitted about 10 laps. So that makes sense. That was Bobby Labonte, by the way, that slid behind Earnhardt. Oh! Dale and Gordon pitting by themselves here.
24 and 3 in the pit.
Gordon just about slammed on the brakes and peeled off the last second.
They'd have to make it on field to the end if they're pitting now.
Pit road and taking more cars with them. Nemechek, Terry Labonte, and
You'd also have to, well, there's quite a few other cars behind them on pit road.
It's a surprise fitting with the 3, but the 31 is it. They had made it feel the pit.
Gotta be quick.
The 31, 33, so you can have the 3
Sorry for clearing my throat. I have like a frog in my throat like all day today. 11.3 second. Oh, I guess it was right sides only. Right sides for Gordon. Wow. Right sides for Earnhardt.
Wallace finished their stops on the right side of your string. Gordon momentarily stalled the motor, but he got her fired up and it was away. He had a good stop. 25 laps complete, 26 this time by.
Yeah, using lessons learned from his father to beat his father.
And he is now Lonesomeville from Dawsonville. No one pitted with him.
Oh, this is the most antagonizing thing.
Repaving Rockingham. Yeah, I heard about that. What was it? Like a month or two ago, I heard the news. The news broke.
The best news for him is everyone else is going to have to.
You'd have to imagine they're not going to be repaving that big of a, racetrack if they didn't think that they were going to be getting NASCAR in. It's interesting that the two Dales didn't pit together. 9.2. That's going to be interesting. That was a quick stop by old man Bill. I guess he wasn't really that old at it. Well, he kind of was. Middle-aged Bill.
When it's all said and done, right back about where they were.
Tony Stewart, now the leader. Dale Earnhardt Jr., Bobby Labonte in 18. That black car is Mark Martin, number 6.
He wasn't really $1 million Bill anymore. He was more like $1,000 Bill. $100,000 Bill.
Dale Jarrett 8.
This is the part of the race. You're single
I mean, he won a couple races in that 9
Right now
car.
you're catching your breath. You're saying, whoa, man, I'm glad we finally got strung out.
Wasn't exactly lighting the world on fire at this time, though, either.
Well, you're checking your gauges. You're going through your little rundown, your little schedule checklist to be sure when it comes down to 10 to go that you're in good shape.
Gordon and Earnhardt have hooked up together.
Yeah, no spoiling down in the chat.
Behind the leaders, here they are, and there's quite a gap back to the lead pack.
And I'm sure you
I'm surprised they pitted as early as they did, though. I mean, like I said, you'd have to think that they're going to...
making up as much ground as they can.
The problem is you got like 6 or 7 cars working together. Earnhardt and Gordon are only with 2. You'd have to imagine they're losing a lot of time, even with fresher right side tires.
But they still have to make that green flag stop.
Mike Skinner is the fellow who got left behind when all that group pitted. Ooh, Labonte climbs.
I was going to say, that was strange that Bobby Labonte went to the outside by himself there. He didn't really have a run. His car's probably just handling better up there than what it is on the bottom. My gosh, Mark Martin.
Back in line. Now Martin pulls to the inside.
Good move not to just drift up high, because he was definitely on the inside of it. It wasn't by much. He was hanging on that quarter panel.
Now, the only gamble on the cars that have not pitted yet. Should we get
Like Skinner getting lapped.
go back racing?
I think that's Skinner.
Make that green flag stop. Where your Gordon, your Earnhardt, your Elliott, your Skinner, they've already made theirs. So a little bit of gamble as these guys stay out there.
Don't you lap me, boy.
Would you have brought our car in with them?
I always done been there. When I saw Gordon and Earnhardt hit pit road, I'd find me one car and I'd be on pit road.
Jeff Hammond, how about you? Would you have pitted with them?
I'd like to challenge him on that right there. I still believe if you're at Daytona, when the car starts getting a push, you can't
Don't
drive.
make me get out the ruler
Pressure
again.
tires in, I think it'll be better. I think some of these guys right now are staying out. They're going to be the cars to beat later on.
So Jeff, as long as he could have stayed on the lead lap, would have stayed out on the racetrack.
It's weird watching this versus watching a bunch of Daytona 500s before on our Throwback Thursdays because there's only 40 laps to go already. No cautions. I feel like now that we're getting into green flag pit stops, though, there's a good chance this is going to go caution free. I'm also curious to find out who's going to cycle out with the lead. You'd have to imagine Jeff Gordon and Dale Sr. are going to be losing a lot of time. Honestly, Earnhardt's lucky Gordon pitted with him. Gordon could have just stayed out. It looked like Gordon made a late decision to pit. Their idea was probably to pit with the 3. That had to have been their strategy. They saw the 3 pit, so they decided to pit 2. But there was not enough other cars. I mean, Terry Labonte pitted 2, which would have been his only teammate in this race.
Well, the longer they run, that's not a bad call. Listen, guys, handling. You hear these guys, we do what we got. But at Daytona, handling is as critical as horsepower is in the race. But here, where you cover a football field a second, Larry, how much longer will it take to change 4 tires instead of 2?
Well, these guys are changing 4 tires in about 12 or 13 seconds. The key, the 4 tires would be good. If you could get 3 or 4 cars to do it with you, then you're definitely going to be better off.
Oh, yeah. I think
Take him to the woodshed.
Somebody take 10 tires. Jeremy Mayfield broke on the back straightaway. He was going to the garage.
Well, that stinks. Another one bites the dust. Mechanical issue on Jeremy Mayfield. He was in the top 10, too, in that lead draft.
Remember, Bill Elliott did it all by himself. He raced up and caught that through.
It wasn't many laps to go. As I pointed out, he was about 10 car lengths back. He's done top.
Oh, there's a... Okay, so there's another car
He's
there.
stronger than he's been showing.
Oh, I think he's about like he was balls now. Yeah, first. They're closing in on him, but it's taking him a while. We're past halfway, 38 laps to go, as you see in the box at the upper left of your screen. And again, we'll remind you that across the top are numbers, positions, and driver names, and we have a second line underneath that ticker. In this case, it's showing you where those cars started. Steve?
Well, Mike, Larry McReynolds was exactly right. The 88 and the 18 are going to pit together.
And these 3 are starting to pull away all of a sudden.
On that 18 car, he said they are in fact
Trying to figure out how everybody else lost him.
And the 88's going to have to do some work.
Speed kills, I guess.
Go to Judy Velasco.
I'll tell you what, that deal is growing because we are told that the 18 car works out a deal with us.
And Joe Gibbs has looked old for a long time. I can't tell if he hasn't aged in the last 22 years or if he aged poorly to this point and then he kind of flatlined.
The 24, the 3, and the 9, and a caution comes.
Well, isn't Joe Gibbs like 80 years old right now?
Then you got a different story.
Right around there?
Now what kind of deal are you going to make?
I mean, I guess he would have been pushing 60 here.
Closing in to perhaps lap Gordon, Earnhardt, and Elliott. Tony Stewart, the race leader, number 20. Matt?
Mike, I spoke to Greg Zipadelli.
Well, they caught the cars that have already pitted of Earnhardt, Gordon, and Elliott.
Between lap 40 and 55, and whoever else will come with us as well, but right now we have about 5.
And Elliott's going to go lap down.
Got his lap.
Tony trying to lap Earnhardt and Gordon. This might get a little racy here. Gordon going to stay up in front of the 20. The 20 clears the 3. Oh, Gordon, what are you doing? He was in front of Stewart. He just went down to the bottom going into the corner. Easy way for Gordon to get lapped there. Them catching the lap cars might have been the best thing for Rusty Wallace and Mark Martin. They might be able to keep up with these other 3. Bobby Labonte got by Dale Jr. then.
They're going to need those 4 tires to get to the finish. And that wouldn't be a bad call. I swear I don't think it would be. This is sounding like a used car commercial. We're wheeling, we're dealing, everybody rides.
Halfway home.
Well, and come in and see it all together. That's what makes this is the best Bud shootout I've ever seen.
There's the motor man for Bobby Labonte. That's him in the green shirt. That's Todd Parrott, Dale Jarrett's crew chief. They're just trying to make sure that they're on sync with what lap they're going to do it, because if they miss it by a lap with each other, they could get separated. Plus, not only that, but you're going to come off the turn 4, you're going to be running wide open, and when you get ready to pit, you're going to dive down in that pit, you're going to be jamming gears, and the guy behind you better be on his toes.
Why is that front group of cars, which are
still on the tires with which they started the race faster than the drivers who stopped for fresh tires.
Because they can run them wide open. Huh? They haven't picked up the push.
Hey, Larry, is this not what crew chiefs just live for? This is a race where we can actually get involved and we have some direct input in trying to make the right decision. I mean, I don't know about you, but I know sitting on top of that box, I just love the opportunity to go make the right decision at the right time and get an opportunity to help win my driver win a race.
Oh, in 20 years of being a crew chief, you know, I had a lot of lows, but some of the biggest highs I had, besides winning races, was making strategy calls, especially when they paid off.
This right here is what you call high-speed check.
Just past halfway in the Budweiser Shootout of 2001. Some of the leaders have pitted, some haven't. You watching NASCAR on Fox.
8 cars on the lead lap, but that's because the top 8 still have to pit.
Premiering tonight and every Sunday night. NASCAR Victory Lane on Fox Sports Net at 9 p.m. your local time. They'll take you from pole position to the checkered flag every Sunday evening. In the Budweiser Shootout, 39 laps complete. Tony Stewart, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Mark Martin, Bobby Labonte, and Jeff Burton.
Yeah, leaders haven't pit yet.
None of them have made their green flag.
I mean, considering it was about like 45, 46 laps to go when Earnhardt and Gordon pit, have to imagine that the leaders are going to have to pit before that lap.
Here, but they're a lap down, obviously. But Tony Stewart, Jeff, Dale Jr. and those guys.
Dale Jr. starting to lose
pretty darn soon.
Stewart and Labonte a little. Oh, never mind. He got by
We
Labonte.
talk about a push here at Daytona, but I've heard 2 people talk about things that indicate their cars.
Tony Stewart's still leading the pack.
Junior or senior talk about the right rear being wore out. That's an indication the car's loose. The back end's coming around. You also heard about them taking air out of the right rear tire. That's normally something you do to tighten the car if it's loose.
Dick Berggren has more.
Well, we just heard on the radio that Earnhardt Jr. is going to pit.
Gordon making a move under Earnhardt. And Dale doesn't go with him. Tony on the bottom. That might help the 24 a little bit.
Right rear tire, the draw is 12 for Bobby Labonte. He's talking about hitting left.
Raji, thanks for tuning in.
Target. Right now he's having some problems in the corners. Tight in the center of the car, really loose coming off. He's trying to hold off against a 46.
Steve?
Well, Larry Mack, Dale Jarrett is one of those cars that's reporting loose. They're going to make an air pressure adjustment and move that track bar down. So again, 88 is loose. Dale Jarrett, he's going to pit on lap 45, Matt Yoakum.
Sounds about right.
Just came down from the 18 pit talking to Zippy, telling Zippy.
It's the first race with Dale Jarrett in the UPS car, too.
Hoping that the 20 will go with them.
What can Brown do for
All the
you?
cars with the numerals 8 are going to come together, except for the 20. So look to be about 5 cars in that bunch.
Yeah, Stewart may not need to come with that group because he's going to be way out in front of them when it comes time to pit. Tony's car is still working very, very well, while his teammate Labonte has dropped to the tail of the lead draft.
A lot of cars in this pack, again, all of a sudden. It's just so weird, though, that some of them are lapped down and some of them aren't.
Earnhardt's got about 20 left on his right side, so he's got his work cut out.
Oh, big block Earnhardt on Gordon. Stalled the outside up just a little bit. They gonna do a crank it up in this race or no? I just realized they didn't have a crank it up. I'm assuming they did it in the 2001 Daytona 500. What, because this isn't a full field, Fox can't do a crank it up? This is an outrage.
Joining Jeremy Mayfield as the 2 cars out of the event thus far. 43 laps complete. 27 to go. Jeff Hammond.
Mike, we keep talking all week about the poor performance of the Roush racing cars. Look, Mark Martin was in 3rd place. Keep in touch. Tony Stewart as well as Dale Earnhardt Jr. You never know. We'll get in and get a chance to make this quick pit stop. Mark Martin could be a force to reckon with before the end of the day.
And Mike, I want to try to explain about the right rear. the cars are pushing loose. You basically have a wheel turn.
4-car breakaway.
And that makes the car go around the turn like you want it to. But then the longer you run, the more you have to turn it to the left, to the point where if you've ever driven on ice or snow, you get the wheel turned so far.
Honestly, the way the strategy's playing out right now, it's got to be working out for Tony Stewart, Dale Jr., and Bobby Labonte, especially Earnhardt Jr. or Earnhardt and
Now this is lap 45
Stewart.
coming up. Let's see who peels off the turn 4 banking. Stewart continues to lead. Very impressive with 45.
Here he comes, here he comes, him and Junior.
If they don't have to maintain 55 miles an hour, they come as
Here
hard
they
as
come.
Until they get to this line right there. Now they got to be running
25 to go.
55 miles an hour till they leave pit road.
This is a big, Larry.
It's the money stop right here.
Responsibility here.
Genie?
Well, as expected, here comes Bob.
Well, I mean, it's the only stop, I guess, technically.
And one pedal down that right rear, the same problem everyone's had. And one
I'm curious to know how big the pack's going to be at the end. Who's all going to be battling for the win here?
The adjusted car was wide, she was tight. This is good to see.
Matt, 4 tire change for Dale Jarrett. They did make that track bar adjustment. Right side tires on, left side tires on. Give them a through and down.
Oh, whoa! The heck happened there?
The 99 that the engine stalled and they were having to push it and fire and it took off.
Oh,
Yeah, it took off and left them pushing.
Jeff Burton's crew.
Lost their footing.
Now, actually, they didn't get hit. They just got, they were pushing the car when it fired, he took off.
Thank goodness. I thought somebody got hit, was just like laying out in the middle of pit road for a second.
5 laps to go.
Now, Larry,
This group's staying pretty organized. I mean, they're
already having been leading the race.
how quickly are they going to get to him?
Let's show you what happened on pit
If
road
at all.
there to, Jeff
I didn't know you were allowed to push that far off onto pit road.
His car had not, it had stalled when he left. These guys was pushing the car. I saw him when he left the pit.
I mean, maybe in this time period you were able to push the car that far down pit road. I feel like nowadays you can probably push them a little bit out of your box, but I doubt you could get away with pushing them that far down pit road.
This one in front has got 4 fresh tires on it.
You're riding with the leader, Mark Martin, who took on only 2 tires when many of the others took 4.
And he's got about a 20 car length lead, and that'd be great anywhere, DW, except Daytona.
So Mark Martin leads.
2 seconds slower in that pack behind him.
That's the difference.
He's going to get eaten alive, though, and these guys come and get him, though.
Stop time, about half the length of the straightaway that Mark Martin currently leads by.
He's a sitting duck.
But for how long? That is the question. 22 laps to go.
This better be the last commercial.
2001. Mark Martin all alone.
They have less than 20 to go, and they come back. Oh, Junior cycled ahead of Stewart.
The Budweiser Shootout on Fox is brought to you by the 2001 Aztec from Pontiac, now offering Versatrack all-wheel drive.
Welcome back to Daytona and the Budweiser Shootout. 22 laps to go. Tony Stewart and Bobby Labonte.
Stewart got back around. Martin fell in line in third. That's not terrible.
Mark Martin and into the lead.
Dale Jr. fell back to 6th. He was right behind, actually, he was right in front of Stewart.
In one lap.
Here's how it happened.
Oh, Junior pulled out too early. Should have waited.
Right down to the bottom of the racetrack.
Yeah, and it doesn't hurt to have.
He's probably going to try to use the 6 as a pick. The problem is he didn't have a big enough of a run when he pulled out of line. That's why it didn't really work out. That's going to be tough to break up the Pontiac duo there of Stewart and Labonte. They've been tough.
Look at those lead 4.
They've had some fast cars in this race.
The only one that changed 2 tires was Mark Martin in the 6th car. Tony Stewart, Bobby Labonte, Dale Jarrett each changed 4 tires.
Yeah, Jarrett had a pretty slow stop. He got out late, but he's certainly proven that the 4 tires will work the time.
Here comes Earnhardt Jr. hunting 4th place as he and Jarrett get side by side.
Earnhardt getting around Jarrett.
Right there on the outside, despite
Oh, Jeff, what are you doing, you dummy?
back up in there, despite being on pit road.
3 wide? Why would you do that? It's going to let the top 3 pull away. Oh, we got the Earnhardt show. The double E's.
400, not this year.
Sounds like a battery.
And that's a fast car.
Look who's back in the picture there. The old man
Little
in
Lee
black
Biggie.
right there.
He and Jeff Gordon moving along.
If he can pull this out with 2 tires, he is.
Rusty Wallace right with them.
Every time I say that, somebody must tell him, Walker said you can't do it. And he'll go right up there and do it just to spite him. He told you yesterday he wants to come ride with him. I wouldn't ride with him. I just shouldn't get an electric chair.
Sensation would be the same.
I didn't even like riding up in another car out there with me. You're alone in the inland.
I just hear that right. You say I wouldn't ride with him. I'd rather ride in an electric chair.
Pretty much in the lead pack.
Jeez.
Get around here, here's what I hear.
I didn't think you could say that on live television.
And two in the garage. Mayfield and Musgrave.
That's the first thing out here. Then the next thing out here wasn't a very good thing.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot bigger pack than what I thought there was going to be. I thought it was just going to be a few cars, honestly. Looks like we got 8 cars in the running for the win.
Go over to Gordon's spot and tell him that we need to work together to fall in line because we are both on older tires, or else we're going to lose this pack.
There are the spotters high above.
17 to go.
2 towers, 2 floors above us. Way above the racetrack. They need to be eagle-eyed because at times those cars are a mile.
Oh, there they go. Dale and Dale. Mark moving up in front of him. Gordon underneath.
The spotters are cleaning their glasses and their binoculars and they're sipping on their drink.
Didn't work. Martin might get enough of a run, though.
Pick up the action with 5 to go.
Look at Gordon on the inside.
Oh, Bobby! Oh, he's moving around his teammate. Are you kidding me? Why didn't he just stay behind him? He hung his teammate out.
And what's been causing that, Darryl, is that roof being across the front. It's disturbing.
He hung his teammate out.
It's making the air mad. It's not knowing what to do. They'll raise that roof flap up.
Yep. We've seen that in a number of incidents when the cars are in groups.
And look what happened to our
Tony going backwards.
Stewart. He got dropped here.
Well, I know what he'll be saying. These tires ain't very good. I got a bad set of tires. On the other hand, he might think a little strategy might be going on there with Tony. He might think getting back and getting run on might be a better situation for him.
No, that's not the strategy, Daryl. Why would he want to drop out of the lead this late in the race? Oh boy, here we go. Mark Martin to the lead. Yeah, Bobby made the first. Oh geez, Earnhardt up the middle. Oh my God. Oh, Stewart out of nowhere. Where'd he come from? I thought he went all the way to the back. I mean, there's only 8 cars, but seven now. These guys are racing. This is a racy 7-car pack for the win. This is good. It's a good race so far. Oh, Dale Jr. Oh, Stewart almost made contact with the 3.
I gotta say, these cars have got a lot of grip, and some of them just had those older tires on.
I told you, Big Red, you trust me. That's the power of Big Red's power.
Now, did Earnhardt Jr. move up to the outside to pick up his dad in the draft, or did he just move to go?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's what he did. Yeah. I'm thinking he wants his dad to get behind him. I'll tell you, when he gets in front, it could be somebody to deal with.
What's going to give here? They're going to try to stay 1-2 to the last lap, or is Dale going to make a move on him? Honestly, if Bobby Labonte gets a move, he made a move on his team. I was going to say, if he made a move on his teammate, he was going to be willing to make a move on Dale.
So that second car, since it doesn't have to push the wind, it can push the front.
Wow, he got by both of them, too. Jarrett going with them.
Joe Gibbs, look at Dale Jarrett going to run on Tony Stewart at orange car.
Got 5 cars versus 3, but the 3 on the bottom might be able to go. Oh, Tony is getting around him. I mean, honestly, Bobby Labonte did the same thing to Stewart, so no surprise there. Bobby's going to go backwards. Dale Jarrett's up to 2nd, though. I don't know if he has led in this race yet, honestly. Catching up on a lap car of Terry Labonte, this will be interesting. They keep racing like that. The next 3 cars behind him might catch them. It's not impossible. Big draft there for Tony on the back of the lapper. Texas Terry. Got a lap down. It's the raciest small pack for this long of a period of time. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the, what was it, the 2020 Clash? Oh, Stewart making a block. Oh, that's not good. That is not smart. That is not smart. He almost, I mean, he could have, if Dale Jarrett would have held his line, Tony Stewart was going to be airborne in the infield. Dale Jarrett cut Tony Stewart a big break there. That was an aggressive block. Nearly gone wrong by Stewart. There was contact, too. But there could have been more contact.
Anytime you get cut off going into three like that, you've got to lift a little bit. You lose
Imagine doing that in this dangerous of an era of NASCAR in a non-points race.
way back up there again.
Like I asked Kevin Hamlin with Gucci from the 3 car, if you had to do all over again, seeing now what you know with the 20 car, how strong it is.
Jarrett fell back quickly, too, after that block.
I think we go 2. This thing's not over yet.
Dale Jr. to the lead. Got him clear. He's clear. He's moving. He's moving up. Tony's going to cross him over. I've seen that move a couple times today. There we go. He got him. This is a great race. Oh, man. Oh, Jesus. He got a little loose. And he still passed him. What a badass. Oh, my gosh. I will say, Tony Stewart's made some dumb moves in this race, but he is driving the... He's putting on a show doing it. Wow.
Coming off the turn 4, he's got that thing cranked down under him, and he says, hello.
I don't think he made contact. I'm surprised he kept up the momentum to still pass him, though. Yeah, that 3-car group, by the way, caught up. Oh, these guys battled for the win now. It was like 7, 8 drivers not that long ago. They got like a dozen of them. I figure if they were going to race each other as hard as they were.
Dale Earnhardt the elder, and he just told his crew he has to run up high. He said, I can't run anywhere else. Mike?
That's not good news if you want to win this race, unless you have a lot of help on it.
It is and it isn't. I mean, at least you can run somewhere. A lot of times the cars get so ill you can't run them anywhere. So he's found, that's the good thing about an Earnhardt or a Gordon or a Jarrett, those guys, they'll find a place to make their car work.
See, now he has Rusty Wallace with him in the 2. Up on the high side, there are just 10 laps to go. Kind of a shame. I'd like to see this go on all afternoon.
And where did Rusty Wallace come from? Well, in fact, we've mentioned Rusty Wallace.
Bobby Labonte going backwards all by himself.
It wasn't long ago. We had about 5 or 6 cars. Now we got 13 back up there in the
Man, Earnhardt must have given Stewart a big push there.
And 2 young guns on the point, Tony Stewart and Dale Earnhardt.
9 laps to go.
I believe that Junior's car is a little faster than Tony's car, but Tony's car just got those 4 tires, gives him a little bit more grip through the turns.
Now the crew chief's talking to their drivers. What kind of input feedback is going on?
Right now, the crew chief isn't saying a word. The crew chief can't do nothing. It's driver keeping his mouth closed, crew chief keeping his mouth closed, spotter doing the work right now.
The only guys that are saying anything are the ones at the back, and they're giving out a whole bunch of excuses why they ain't up no close to the front.
Jarrett now on the bottom by himself.
Crew chief can do now. They talk about what they should have done after this race, but pretty much for the next 9 laps.
Trying to sidetrack. Where'd Rusty come from?
Inside, trying to make a move. No one goes with him, and he makes the move. But it's
He must have been in that like 3-car group behind the leaders. He's up there out of nowhere though.
he'll need some help to do it.
Can't get anybody down there with him.
I will say Dale Sr. is holding back quite a bit.
Teammate in the black car there on the outside, Ricky Rudd.
If he gets a big enough push from Rusty and that outside lane really behind him stays organized, he's going to have a big run at Junior.
Catch you later. Yeah.
No, Jeremy Mayfield, he made the field, but he ended up having a mechanical issue. It was like right before the end of the green flag pit stops. He had some sort of mechanical issue, went to the garage. Got 15 cars on the lead lap right now. Steve Park isn't up there with the leaders, though, so they might catch him, which is going to be interesting because that's a DEI car. Might try to help the Earnhardts out if they catch him, which they should catch him, I would have to imagine, because there's still 7 to go, and he's all by himself.
But nobody seems to be able to go alone. Rudd gets back in line just as Gordon breaks out.
You get such a run right at the end of these straightaways, right at the end of going into turn 1 and right at the end of the back. And if you got room to go,
And Gordon just climbed the hill and almost got to the turn 2 wall.
It's by Martin.
From Mark Martin. Schrader slipping back.
Earl Arnold Jr., thanks for tuning in. Oh, man, yeah, Dale's right there.
Stewart and Earnhardt Jr. stay single file.
Both of them. Both the Dales.
the only place is going to be at the end of the straightaway.
Look at Jeff Gordon as he climbed the hill.
Well, he did that on purpose. He wanted to get up
6 to go.
6 laps to go.
Anybody going to get around Stewart?
Bobby's got to be a little frustrated.
Tony's got a really strong race car, though.
He's got 4 tires. That car that he didn't like, he's going to like it a whole lot less than this is over.
Well, when you come to Daytona as the Winston Cup champion,
Man,
you
but
find everybody
making contact back there.
Most of the time you do, but you know,
When you run Ken Schrader. I don't think Schrader's on the lead lap. Oh, he is on the lead lap. He's in 9th. Wow. What a comeback from Kenny Schrader.
I think everybody's kind of happy to see him be the champion. I don't know what they're all gunning for.
Schrader just went 3 wide between the Labonte brothers.
5 to go.
Between Bobby Labonte and Jeff Gordon to move up to 6th.
Caution free.
Started on pole.
I mean, honestly, caution comes out now. The race is going to end. So we're either going to have a race end under caution, or we're not going to have a single caution at all.
talked about Bobby Labonte, but look at him on the bottom of the racetrack there, right there, challenging for the
Hope it ends under green.
got a little bit of help behind him.
Been a great race.
Particularly this far into the race, you get such a big push off of turn 2 over there that if he can continue.
Great race. No wrecks.
Handful of laps left. Tony Stewart
36 has a run. He's going to go to the bottom.
keeps coming in that yellow car.
Kenny Schrader, man.
A lap at a time. If he can get a little help from Bobby Labonte,
He is moving.
you're past what you lost.
Let's go, Kenny.
On the inside, here comes Labonte with him.
Is he going to get the underdog of the race award?
This is a chance match.
It's kind of tough when you have a shorter field like this to give an underdog of the race out.
Schrader started
I mean, I guess he'd be the one right now, but there really isn't anybody else in the field that it's
all the way back up to 6th.
worthy of an underdog, I guess.
The trend is up.
You know, you just thought he was doomed.
Oh, Dale had a run. Stewart blocked him.
Grabbed it. Let's get out of my way.
That will absolutely put your heart in your throat.
Dale Jr. moves low, Tony moves low with him, and Dale tried to
That was the biggest run Dale's had in second place behind Stewart over the last, 5 laps or so.
Down the back straightaway. He can really get a run on Tony. And Tony's going to have to be on his toes, or he's going to shake him out. He's going to pass him going into turn 3. And I'm telling you then, the race is on.
Schrader falling out of line.
Well, there goes that run.
3 laps to go.
3 to go.
That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. Remember, he stopped at lap 17.
He stopped at lap 17. I didn't realize how early it was. I was surprised he went that far on field, to be completely honest. Is that Dale Jr. that got shuffled out of line?
The black flag for the oil leak and tried to stretch it. Here comes Earnhardt.
Oh, that's right. Oh!
Tony Stewart.
Earnhardt to the lead.
See the air. He can also smell the
Dale Jr. dropped back, and then this Dale decided to just go for it.
I think it's something about that zone to listen to the field.
2 to go. That place probably rocking right now.
No one has won more races at Daytona International Speedway than Dale Earnhardt.
Let me tell you, that wasn't all that
Tony gonna get back at him?
plays out. But
Not that time.
feel like he might not be in a good position. Leading this thing.
No monster mistakes here from Dale Jr. or Dale Sr.
outside of that racetrack.
Don't count out Rusty Wallace.
They have 2 to go or 3 to go? I'm confused right now. I thought it was 3 to go the last time.
Shootout.
I think Tony Stewart thought he
Oh, Tony. Tony's got to run again.
was going to get Earnhardt.
Where's Rusty going? Oh, Rusty's going with Dale. It doesn't matter. Stewart's going to clear him. He is clear. Yeah, they're coming to the white flag this time.
Earnhardt really took off up
Tony get around him too early.
A Pontiac has
Coming to the white.
this race. Stewart.
Oh, Jeff Burton making a move on Rusty. That's going to stall the run out, though.
Earnhardt. Wallace.
3. Nope, Rusty's still clear of the 99, barely. Good grief. It's going to be tough for Dale to get a run.
Dale Jarrett gets there behind Jeff.
He's got a chance if they stay organized enough on the back straightaway, but he needs those guys to settle down behind him if he's going to want a shot to get by Stewart.
Where do you swerve?
nowhere yet. All right, now go.
Oh, he went for it. Gordon's going to get suckered right in the middle. Yeah, they're not organized enough for him.
Jarrett pulled Bobby Labonte along with him. He's up to 4.
They went 3 wide, and Rusty doesn't have any help behind him anymore. Rusty plays defense on Dale Jarrett. Tony Stewart wins. Dale Sr. second. Rusty Wallace third. He deserved it. I think he led the most laps. He had a fast car.
Come on. How many lead changes do you suppose we had? I won't talk about start finish line, but don't be in the entire race.
To show the effectiveness of NASCAR's new aerodynamic package. In last year's Daytona 500, which was a bit of a snoozer, Dale Jarrett dominated, only 9 lead changes. Here we ran just 70 miles and had 19 lead changes.
And that was at the line.
Oh, man. Stewart,
19 lead changes in 70 laps.
He's the 14th different driver to win. There's Kensington, Connecticut.
That was racy from start to finish. And it was caution-free. That was fun to watch. That was a good race.
And Craig Zippity, crew chief, congratulations. That was nervous steel on the driver and the
Zippy.
team, man. It's Home Depot Pontiac. Ran great all day. Tony, he's done a
Win
great
for the
job.
depot.
We've been learning these restricted plate races. I think we've had really good cars. I've been making some of the best calls, and Tony, we're kind of learning. He did a great job today. He did what he had to do. All the guys in the crew worked real hard all winter, tweaking on these cars, and we got a good one. I think our 500 car is a lot better than this one, so we're pretty excited. Congratulations. Thanks. Open wheeler, IndyCar racer, Silver Crown sprint cars, midgets, Winston Cup cars, doesn't matter. If it's got an engine, put Tony Stewart in it. He'll find a way to win. You're watching NASCAR on Fox.
Here's the top 5.
The Budweiser Shootout has been won by Tony Stewart. Pontiac Grand Prix.
Past him coming to the white flag.
Wide track attack team on yet another victory. Wider is better. There's the pass for the win with 2 to go on Dale Earnhardt.
It really was. And Dale looked like he took off up the hill there.
That's why you don't want to wait till the very last lap, though, too, because they weren't really organized enough on the last lap by the time they got off turn 2, so there was really no chance for Earnhardt to get back around him after that.
How about this, though? Freshman 70 laps with Tony Stewart wins in his second Budweiser Shootout appearance. Dick Bergman.
Well, congratulations, Tony Stewart. Tell us, was it driver, car, crew, strategy? What won this thing for you today?
Playing the restrictor plate game. I hate this stuff, but it worked for us.
With his crew chief, Greg Zippity, congratulating him. What are you learning? You said as soon as you got into victory lane, you said, I'm finally learning this game. What did you learn that helped you today?
I'll tell you what, when you got Dale Earnhardt behind you, he's going to pull every trick out he can to win here. And he's won so much here that you got to pay attention to what he's doing. And I'll tell you what, I can't thank Dale Earnhardt Jr. enough. I mean, him and I worked together all day long, and whether he was leading and I was behind him or vice versa, we really worked well today, and that's something we'll be looking forward to next Sunday, him and I working together again.
Oh, they'll be working together more Sundays than that.
We were able to really get some runs on some guys. So
He led half the race, 36 of 70 laps. 19 lead changes, and he still led just over half the race.
That's with Earnhardt. Well, Dale Earnhardt,
70 laps.
Drive nearly pulled off your 7th Bud Shootout victory. The 4 tires versus 2, is that the difference?
Well, I reckon. I don't know what they did, but my car was awful loose, awful pushy. I could tell they had better rubber on it, but I just kept driving the car, flying the car, doing the best I could on the top. And Rusty and the guys worked real well with us. I just knew I needed that top lane. I couldn't get on the bottom. I had to jump off the turn 2 with the wind and everything. So we just kept working, and I tried him one to go and got the lead. And maybe it's too soon.
Well, you finished second. I'm told down here, speculation is the 20, the 3, the 2, and the 9 will be headed for a trip to the wind tunnel later tonight. Now to see.
Well, Matt, we're with the driver of that number 2 car, Rusty Wallace. Rusty, heck of a shooter, man, today. Tell us about the race.
That was a good car all day long. Early in the race, the windshield got coated with oil, and I couldn't see anything, and I had to back up by 15 lengths. They came in, they pulled the tear off the window, and then the hot rod took back off, and it ran strong all day long. I ran pretty warm in the water. We'll have to work on that. The front end was pushed a little too much down in turn 2, but I worked good on the top side of the track, and the car ran great. Going into turn 3, 1 lap to go, Dale went low. I started to go high, and I thought I was going to get him there and maybe pull off a victory when Stewart was doing what he was doing. But I'll tell you what, all in all, come from tail back to 3rd. I thought it was a good run for the Middle Light Ford today. It was a real good car today for me.
Great run, Rusty. Let's go, JD.
Dale Earnhardt Jr., not that you can get an assist in this sport, but Tony Stewart just mentioned you and wanted to thank you for your help out there today.
Yeah, Tony's one of the guys that'll work with me with limited experience I got. I don't got a lot of guys that respect me out there, so that comes with time. And me and Tony have been buddies for a long time. He raced with me in the Busch Series, so I help him out on the draft, and he helps me some.
What did you say to your dad at breakfast today to make you get out there and swap so much paint? And it looked like there was some help, and then maybe you were hung out to dry a little bit.
Yeah, we worked together the first half of the race, I think. we really haven't ever sat down and talked about it, so I really don't know what he wants me to do when I'm behind him or whatever, but I did what I thought he'd want, and got him in the lead a couple times. He helped me out a few times, but when it comes down to the last 10 laps or so, ain't nobody going to be helping you. So Tony's just a lucky guy to be up front. I mean, I would never thought he'd have won a race, but he was a lucky guy that wasn't having to race everybody back there.
Well, we should be honest here. Your dream was that you won the Daytona 500 Shootout, so your dream is still alive, yes?
It's looking pretty good, I think. We didn't win today, but ain't nothing cold Budweiser ain't gonna fix.
All the sponsors love you. Guys?
Yes, they do. There is a very soggy but very happy Tony Stewart. After a great win here in the Budweiser Shootout, in only his second appearance in this race of pole winners, he led 36 of the 70 laps. Dale Earnhardt trying for his 35th Daytona win, finished second. Rusty Wallace climbed the ladder all the way to third from tailback, as he said.
Jeff Burton had a pretty solid run to get back into fifth wherever he was, too. He's pretty far back after the green flag pit stops. And Mike Skinner still got a top 10. Gordon really fell back late.
With 16 of the 18 starters running.
Those three had some issues.
Tony Stewart wins the Budweiser Shootout, and we'll have lots more from Daytona.
Alrighty, that is going to wrap up today's Throwback Thursday live stream on the channel. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Be sure to hit the like button, subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. Again, Busch Light Clash this Sunday. We'll be doing live commentary for the Xfinity, or sorry, not the Xfinity. We'll be doing live commentary for the heat races and the LCQ. That will start at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then we will be back with a second stream later that night to do live commentary for the Busch Light Clash main event at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Can't wait for that one. I'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll have NASCAR 22 content on the channel the next couple nights as well. Appreciate the support as always. On the road to 3,000 subs, actually on the road to 4,000 subs, and on the road, of course, to becoming a NASCAR commentator for future races down the line. Appreciate it, everybody. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good rest of your Thursday evening.